Hi everyone. So today's video is about the forehand and the backhand volley. Fortunately, not as many variations in volleys as there are in the ground strokes, so we're going to do the forehand and the backhand volley together in this video. We'll look at it from the grips point of view, the technique, and as normal, the footwork to finish off with. Okay, so the main grip we use for volleys is the continental grip, the shake hands grip, the eastern grip, the grip right in the middle. Okay, from that angle, right in the middle. And if possible, don't change the grip between your forehand and your backhand volley. Okay, if you watch the professionals, they have the same grip on both sides. Okay, why do they do that? Why do we do that? Is you're at the net, so you have to deal with the ball hit from your opponents in a much shorter space of time. So if you're adding in changes of grips also, you're just wasting time there, okay? And you're giving yourself something extra to do, okay? So as much as possible, keep the same grip in the middle. If you find that you have just been so used to moving your grip between the forehand and the backhand volley, just try as much as you can to limit it. You don't want to be going right round one side for your forehand volley, right round the other side for the backhand volley. So as much as possible, as little movement in the grip change, okay? If you can, practice getting that grip right in the center and not moving the grip, okay? Why do we use that grip for the volleys? Exactly the same as if you watch the slice backhand video, okay? As you strike a ball, you need an element of racket face open, okay? And why is that? The ball that's being hit towards you, percentage-wise, mostly has this top spin coming at you, okay? Now, if you strike a ball that has top spin coming at you, out of the air as a volley, if you hit it completely flat, that ball will counteract and react down into the net. How many times we've been close to the net and you've gone to hit a volley and you've dumped it in the net and you're thinking, why is that? It's mainly because your angle of racket face as you're making contact with the volley is too closed, okay? And if you hold that grip in the center, that allows that openness of the racket face, not here, okay, but it allows that openness of the racket face to be a little bit easier to do, okay, because it puts your wrist in that angle, okay? So that's the grip that you want to be using for the volleys, both sides, okay? The next thing I want you to just practice is having your hand above your wrist, okay? And that is the strongest position to put your wrist into. And as you can see, it creates kind of this V shape between your arm and the racket, okay? So your hand is above the wrist, okay? You don't want that wrist down, okay? Weak. If I was to hit a backhand volley there, look what that's doing to my wrist. That's going to hurt. So you get that wrist up, sorry, to get that hand up above your wrist, and that's the strongest position to have your hand in, okay? So that's the grip in the middle, hand up, everything in front of you. So the same as all the ready positions I talk about, everything needs to be pushed forward, further in front of you, okay? Not here. We don't want the elbows at the side of you, okay? We want everything right out in front of you. Now, if you notice, my left hand is holding the neck of the racket, okay? And the reason I hold the neck of the racket is because on my one-handed backhand volley, I use one hand, okay? And as I go to hit it, I have this separation, which we'll get onto. So if you're the ready position, if you use one hand on your backhand, that left hand holds the neck of the racket. If you have a two-handed backhand volley, then your left hand is placed in the central position, also on the grip. No gaps, not on top, not further too far round, all in the middle in those eastern continental grips. And again, both hands are up. Okay, so that's the ready position, single hander. That's the ready position, double hander, okay? The next thing that happens from this ready position, again, same as what we say in all the videos, the first thing that happens is that your eyes see the ball coming over from your opponent, okay? So the eyes see the ball coming to that forehand side of you or that backhand side of you. The first thing that happens is that you need, from the ready position, to lay that wrist to the side. Lay that wrist to the side until the racket is parallel with the net. You look at the service line behind me, there, and I'm doing it, watch what I do with my shoulders. As I lay it, I'm turning that unit a little bit, that shoulder, that unit here, there. There, kept that position, but I've turned until the racket's parallel with the net, so the strings are facing forward, and that's the initial movement. Bang, bang, okay? So you've got that wrist and racket laid to the side, okay? The next thing that's going to happen from here, okay, is you're going to try and time your opposite foot to step and hit the ground as you strike the ball, okay? And that is so important in order to get everything flowing correctly forward. I'm ready, everything's in front. As I lay that to the side, and then I'm going to go and perform the stroke. I'm going to step to it, and that foot has landed, and my goal is that it lands as I strike that ball, that backhand volley. As I turn, and I'm going to go and step, okay, my opposite foot lands as I strike the ball. And the reason you want to try and get that timing spot on, it means that you won't collapse onto the shot, okay? And a lot of you know, when you watch this video and you think, yeah, that happens to me, that you'll go and step and the ball's not there, and then you end up collapsing down, yeah? You've already stepped, but the ball's not there, and you end up collapsing down, okay? So your goal is to only have that step as you strike the ball. Making contact with the ball first and then stepping, that's not too bad, okay? Because again, it means that you haven't collapsed onto the shot, but you certainly don't want to plant your feet first and then try and strike the ball, okay? So do practice that when the next time we get on the courts. As you're hitting that ball, are you getting that step forwards onto the ground as you're striking the ball? Why do we want to step? Because it's going to allow you to get the racket face moving back through the ball, okay? And you need a little bit of movement of that racket going back through the ball. You always got to go and meet a volley here, and it allows you to get the racket punching back through the ball. Quite an important one, and I see this a lot down at the tennis club. As you can see, I've got the service line here. Say I'm going to go and hit a forehand volley. That step needs to be along the line of the ball. So say that's where the ball path is coming, yeah? I'm ready, I'm twisting, I've got the racket head in line, parallel, and I'm ready to go, and then all of a sudden, I step towards the line. And again, I'm way too close. How many times have we had a volley and it's framed off the racket and gone wherever? It's because you've got too close to the ball, because your step is towards the line of the ball. So say that's the line, I'm here, remember that step is along the same line. It's not into the path of that line. So I hope that makes sense. I'll do that again, just so you really understand what I'm going on about there. From here, ready, I twist, the racket's in line with the ball that's coming, step along the line, not into the line. Okay, very important. So do practice that you're stepping along the line of the ball. Okay. What does your other hand do? Okay. On the forehand volley, as you pull that racket over to be in line, okay, it kind of just stays near your other hand. And it keeps everything together. As you go and step, you don't want to be pulling it away. Okay, doesn't want to be wandering off, doesn't want to do anything. From here, it stays quite close to the other hand, and it just helps you keep everything together, everything behind the ball, okay, and the balance. Your backhand volley, so there's your one-hander, like I explained, holds the neck. As you go to step with your opposite foot, so obviously my backhand, I'm going to step with my right foot, my forehand will step with the left foot, other way around for left-handers. As I go to have that step, your opposite hand comes off the neck of the racket and has this opposite force effect, okay? Opposite force generates maximum power going forwards. Here, bang, yeah? And you're trying to get that contact, that opposite arm going back, and again, it helps balance as you plant the foot. If you use two hands on your backhand volley, as you go to step, the left hand stays in that position. Unlike your double-handed backhand where your non-dominant hand dominates, takes over, for the volley, it doesn't. Your right hand, your natural hand, remains the dominant force. So you're trying to keep the path of the racket going in a straight line through the shot. Okay, so you don't swing. None of this, okay? There, step forwards. Okay, so that's the grips, that's the technique, that's the position you need to be in, that's the footwork that you need for the volley, and like I said, a big part of it is the timing of it all. Get in the garden, and again, it's a great little exercise from here. 1, step back. 2, step back. 3, step back. 4, step back, okay? And just get in the garden and practice your forehand and backhand volleys. The same rules apply in relation to the angle as the slice backhand video did, in that comfortable, it's about this angle. The lower you make contact with that ball, you're trying to keep your wrist in that position, you've got to use your legs a little bit more to bend, and that racket face opens. The higher, more around the ball, not swinging down. We're not doing smash technique, that's the other video, okay? It's volleys. The racket head needs to go back through the ball, not swing through onto the other side of your body. Back through the ball, back through the ball, back through the ball, okay? So really get out there and practice those volleys. Direction, last point, not so much to do with as in your ground strokes. It can be a lot to do with where your body is positioned. Often because of the volleys we don't have time. It's to do with how far forward you push the racket to make contact with the ball, or how far back, still in front of me, or how far back you have the racket when it makes contact. And I've said it many times, my little saying to you all, the further in front, okay, the earlier, the curlier, and across the court it'll go. The later, the straighter it'll go down the line, cross court, down the line, okay? And you're just trying to get into that position, and you just guide everything back through the ball. So I hope that helps with regards to the volleys. Positioning and things like that, we'll do that in another video. This video was specifically just to go through the technique, the grip, and the footwork required. If you've got any questions, drop me a line, drop me a text, drop me a WhatsApp, and I'm happy to help. Bye.